Hello and welcome to this week's The Story of a Poor Boy. I'm Mikey.
I'm Matt.
And this week we're going to be discussing all things transfer related with Liverpool. Well, anything worth discussing anyway. That includes the one incoming transfer we've had. I suppose we've got a couple of outgoings which we've already sort of looked at. But yeah, I mean, and we'll also look at the Auto Cup scheme debacle that is currently going on, where the club have shafted pretty much anyone who hasn't got a season ticket.
But nothing's changed from last year, though, so we don't have any reason to complain, apparently.
Starting with the new signing, which came completely out of nowhere, in the best kind of signings.
Fabinho springs to mind.
Exactly. Sepp Vandenberg. Liverpool have signed him for an initial fee of 1.7 million, and could rise to 4 million, which in this day and age is absolutely nothing.
Yeah, I think that rising fee is if he makes about 300 appearances for us as well. So that's a really fucking good deal on our part, isn't it?
Yeah, we've done incredibly well with that, if that's actually true. Looking now, apparently his market value at the moment is about 2 million. 17 years old. He has played. Probably should have pulled this up. Last season he played 15 games in the Eredivisie, which for a 17-year-old is not bad in the slightest.
Not bad at all.
20 games all in total last season, so that's including trophies as well. Cups as well. But I mean, there's every reason Liverpool fans can be optimistic about this sign.
Yeah, I think we fought off interest from Ajax and PSV and Bayern at the very last minute as well, didn't
apparently we? Barcelona were looking at him as well.
Yeah.
But Liverpool apparently, while he was having his medical, heard that Bayern Munich were
trying to contact him.
Trying to get hold of him.
Yeah.
So he's clearly a fella in demand.
Well, it's good company to be shopping with.
Well, exactly, and it's the best type. And this might not be the type of transfer that everybody was actually looking forward to this summer. I guess the type of transfer everyone wants is more the marquee. We're back at the top of the table now.
Yeah, your one or two big signings that would allow you to kick on.
Yeah.
I think that's everyone's dream this season, but I don't think that's going to happen this transfer window.
Well, yeah. I mean, if we look at last summer as a marker, like the £40 million we laid down for Fabinho is kind of like, oh right, okay, so this is Liverpool mean business. This transfer window did it nice and early. Whereas this time round, we're seeing, the last week of June, Liverpool turned around, signed a virtually unknown, unless you watch the Dutch league, and for what is essentially a nothing fee. If nothing happens, if nothing comes of this fella, and he ends up playing his football at a lower level than this, which I don't think will happen, but no one will bat an eyelid at a fee this small.
No, of course.
But it might be a marker for what we can expect for the rest of the transfer window, which won't please everybody. Never does. No one's ever happy.
Definitely not, no.
But, I mean, apparently he has been signed with first team intentions, Vandenberg, towards the end of the season, more than immediately, I would guess.
Yeah, he's definitely one more for the future. If he is with the first team in mind, then that's great, because one of my things for this summer was I wanted another centre-half. Like, not a starting quality centre-half, because I think with Virgil van Dijk and Joe Gomez, we've got a brilliant centre-half pairing there.
Definitely.
We seem to be able to rely on Matip now. Lovren, while I love him, and I think his quality is not lacking in any way, he just can't keep fit. So I would have, on my wish list of players that we signed this season, I would have liked another centre-back, and this definitely fulfills that. But it's just a little bit more looking to the future, like you said, later this season, perhaps next season, just getting him now. But it'd be interesting to see like how he fares when he's training with the reserves and the under-21s. He's obviously not been signed for them. but he will be playing with them over the season.
Yeah.
So it might be interesting to see how he does.
I wonder if it's an indication as to what they see with Kiana Herrera's future as well, to be fair.
Yeah.
Because it's somewhat surprising to see a centre-half coming in at the same age as Kiana Herrera. Obviously, same nationality as well, but...
Maybe that's it. Maybe they just bought him a mate, and we're gonna have a Dutch centre-back pairing in 5 years' time.
It's mad how you look at, like...
With Virgil van Dijk being the defensive coach.
In like 4 or 5 years' time, if all of them live up to their potential, you're looking at it being Van Dijk, Kiana Herrera, Vandenberg, and Matthias de Ligt, and Liverpool would be without only one of them.
Yeah. I mean, 3/4 of them's pretty good.
Yeah, it's not too bad. I mean, I suppose that does bring us on to de Ligt, I guess, because it was kind of it was a pipe dream for a lot of us that Liverpool might end up with de Ligt instead.
Probably a pipe dream for just about everyone who was linked with him, to be fair.
Yeah, except for Juventus, who were eventually the ones who ended up getting
Which seemed to come out of nowhere as well. I didn't start seeing their name attached to his until really, really late in the game. It was Bayern, Barca and United and PSG before that one.
Yeah, exactly. And we were linked. I don't know whether we forced a link as a fan base. I don't know whether we forced that to happen.
Yeah, we might have.
There was a discussion. I think the bit that kicked everybody off with it was when Van Dijk and Gini Wijnaldum were commenting on his future while they were away on international duty, and it was just like, yeah, come on, lads. But at the end of the day, if he's gone to Juventus, he's, maybe he's had his head turned by the money side of it instead. It's not exactly the most glamorous league to play in anymore, the Italian league. It's not exactly a challenge.
What year they on now? Like 9 in a row.
Yeah, exactly, and it's not exactly a league that players of his age tend to thrive in. It's normally one that players of his age are trying to move away from. To be honest. Just because.
Although if it was money that turned his head, he would have gone to PSG.
Well, I mean, there is that, but I mean, maybe the Italian league is just competitive enough that it's more interesting than the French league.
Maybe, yeah.
But I mean, who knows?
They're both shite.
Who knows? I mean, at the end of the day, I would making excuses there. He may well have gone for the football reasons. At the end of the day, if you're a defender, Italian football might well be more interesting, and from certain aspects, it's regarded as a defensive style of play. There's always the opportunity to work with Cristiano Ronaldo, Giorgio Chiellini is there, one of the best defenders of his generation. So you never know. There's a lot of things that go on, and also his agent is the Mino Raiola, isn't he? The same fella as Pogba. So
the notorious bad bloke.
Yeah, exactly. He's just had the suspension lifted in Italy, and all of a sudden Juventus have got a new player. But by no means, is it the worst thing that Liverpool have missed out on? It would have been lovely.
It would have, but it definitely would have been an absolute dream signing, an absolute a ridiculous statement of intent.
Oh no, definitely.
Which I don't think is what FSG are really about.
I don't even think it's FSG this year. I think
or FSG or Liverpool.
I think it's what Jurgen Klopp wants at this point. Because I mean, you've heard what John Henry said in the week of the Champions League final, that the Champions League win doesn't make up for losing out on the league, and Klopp will be giving it back, and if he wants it, maybe it's just Jurgen saying he's happy with what he's got. He trusts. I mean, he's got complete faith in that defence, which is saying more than a lot of people have, to be fair.
Yeah.
He's stuck by all. Well, Matip and Lovren in particular, because I mean, you're not going to turn on Joe Gomez for getting injured at the end of the day.
To be fair, between the four centre backs, we only conceded 20 odd goals in the league.
Yeah, it's not the end of the day. At the end of the world, sorry, and at the end of the day, we were after. If Liverpool went out and bought another centre half now, it'd be bordering on negligence, because there's other areas of the team that needs
perhaps cover at left back, cover in the front three.
Exactly, and
they are the main things to get back up in. Centre back was just maybe wishful thinking, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at it, it makes sense from the other three are quite injury-prone point of view.
Yeah.
But when you have youngsters of the strength of Herber and now, of course, Vandenberg as well, who, I mean, I'm not going to pretend I've ever watched them play a game of football. I've done the usual YouTube highlight reel, but other than that, nothing.
And then declared him the best young defender in the world,
well,
or in the league in 2021.
What I said is, within a year, he will be regarded as that. What I meant, it was off the cuff. It wasn't off the cuff comments. It was going to be a joke originally, but fuck it, I'm going to stick with it because I said it about Andy Robertson when he first signed for Liverpool. I said, hey, watch him be the best left back in England within a year, and lo and behold, he is now the best left back in England.
That is true.
And in the world.
Read about.
Yeah. Do you remember that? Because everyone was saying, oh, nothing to get excited about. And I was like, this is a left back for 8 million quid who's got Premier League experience. That's not too bad. I mean, I wasn't expecting him to do what he has done, but still. But yeah, I mean, I'll be happy to be right, put it that way. Hopefully we don't get to a situation like we did last year where we had to throw in 16-year-old Kiana Herber against Wolves just for his debut. Hopefully it doesn't get to that dire situation. We will see.
It's always something we're a bit wary of.
Yeah, exactly. We've seen it all before, haven't we? So I'm going to move you on then from the absolutely nailed-on transfer of Vandenberg to the most optimistic of transfers in Mbappe Gate.
Mbappe Gate, I like it. Actually, no, I hate it. I hate when people put gate on the end of something that makes it a conspiracy. It's stupid.
It is a conspiracy. It is a conspiracy. He's okay then, right. He's laying down all the markers.
Run me through the concrete Mbappe links.
Okay, so what's happened is Kylian Mbappe in the last 2 weeks, he went on holiday to America he was videoed with LeBron James, who had a Liverpool cap on.
Yep.
And
for a visit to Nike headquarters, both of whom they are sponsored by, to record a new video for Nike.
Yeah, fine. Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah. Are we sponsored by Nike? No. No, we are not. So he lashed that Liverpool hat in on purpose. LeBron James has also just changed his squad number from 23 to 6. So he's he's on Operation Unbearable like the rest of us are. So he's been sat there in Kylian Mbappe's ear, just going right.
They've won it 6 times.
They've won it 6 times.
They've won it 6 times.
How many have PSG won? None. Oh, right. Well, funny. Then after that, he was interviewed, asking who he goes on FIFA, who he will play as on FIFA, and he said Liverpool. He plays as Liverpool on FIFA. I mean,
who wouldn't? We're a very fast, good team.
That's fine, but
that's what you want in FIFA.
You're Kylian Mbappe. You're rated 90 on FIFA. You're not going to play as yourself. You've got Neymar on your team as well. You're not going to play as yourself.
Defence is shite.
Defence is not shite. It's got Thiago Silva in it. And
midfield shite, man. Midfield shite.
Midfield's not great. All right, I'll admit that. But Navas ours on FIFA. On FIFA, it's not.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
On FIFA, we're.
If Fabinho like 85 rated.
Yeah, but I play him at centre half because I'm a. Because we off. So he's at centre half are Matip, Lovren, and Gomez. Gomez is rated 78 and he's not. He's quick, but he's rated 78, and the other two are dead slow. So I put Fabinho there because then you have Van Dijk and Fabinho.
See, I put Gomez there as just a point of Gomez is our starting centre half. I want to start him.
It's more so I can play Henderson, Wijnaldum, and Keita because but this isn't about FIFA. It's about Kylian Mbappe. So what Kylian Mbappe did, saying he played as Liverpool on FIFA, got all of us a bit warm under the collar.
Twitter melted.
And then
even warm.
Oh yeah,
melted.
Too right. Twitter melted. If you want to go there, he had 110s on when he was in America, the new ones, because he's dead cool and that. And then
he's pretty scouse.
Exactly. And then he uploaded this picture of him on a plane, exactly like Van Dijk was. Exactly like Van Dijk was.
Is he looking wistfully out the window?
Liked by Marko Grujic. So there you go. He followed on Instagram. He followed Steven Gerrard, Mohamed Salah, I think Liverpool's official account, and there was another one as well. I think it might be probably Firmino. Did all that. And then then met up with Daniel Sturridge while he was over in America.
He did. He
met up with all these people. Liverpool just seemed to be there, and what has been decided by other podcasts, not this one, don't feel rap, is that it's not this year, it's next year. It's next year that we're going to sign him. But we are going to sign Kylian Mbappe at some point. Okay. And after what's happened this week, I would happily swap him for Mohamed Salah. Happily. Because I hate Mohamed Salah. I mean, he can keep scoring as many goals as he wants for Liverpool, but he's not a nice fella. So, there's me facts.
Yeah, they are facts.
Me wrong.
Well, all you've said is like that he's posted these photos and he's met these people and he's followed certain accounts. That doesn't mean he's gonna come. That doesn't mean we're going to sign someone.
There's more.
Like, this is going to be about a £200 million transfer.
Yeah.
We are not... Like, we are the best team in Europe at the minute. We are. But we're not going to be spending money like that.
That's why...
not going to want to spend money like that.
That's why it makes sense next summer. Because Mohamed Salah's comment straight after was that he's going to review his future next year. Not this year, next year. So we sell Salah for 150 million quid.
Yep.
And then we use that and the rest of our money to buy Kylian Mbappe, become absolutely massive. Get sponsored by Nike as well, because our thingy's up.
That is true.
With
that
New
is
Balance.
True.
And then, what better way to celebrate that new relationship than with Kylian Mbappe, one of Nike's star athletes?
I'm not sure how much say your kit maker has in the players that you sign.
Do you not think that if Nike would not get a massive bonus out of their newest client, Liverpool,
they would
having one of their top salesmen? It's like what's it called? Like, do you not think Nike would benefit hugely from Lionel Messi being their clients rather than Adidas's?
Of course,
because he can't be on any of Barcelona's kit work at all. Whenever they launch the new range, he can't be on any of it. So do you not think that hinders their marketing campaign?
No, of course. But, like, do you really think that kit makers have any say in the players?
Listen,
in the players that teams sign and when they sign?
Do I really think that Liverpool are going to sign the best young footballer in the world? No.
I thought you were just going to go, yeah, I do.
But anything is possible.
All right.
At the end of the day, he's best mates with Fabinho. Fabinho already spoke about it last year, about how he's going to have a little word with him and get him a year, and we all just kind of went, yeah, that's enough. Okay, that's fine. There's more evidence at this point in time, and this you can't refute me on. There's more evidence at this point in time that Kylian Mbappe will be a Liverpool player soon than there was when we signed Fabinho. For him to be a Liverpool player, that is came true. Out of nowhere.
That one really did. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So therefore, we're signing Kylian Mbappe. I don't know when. It might not be this year. Probably next year. You heard it here, not first.
Unless you don't listen to all the podcasts, in which case you did.
Yeah, exactly. In which case, we came up with the theory.
We did come up with a theory. Fine, you've convinced me. We're signing Kylian Mbappe.
Makes complete fiscal sense. And that is the one and only time I will use the word fiscal on this podcast. But I'm just behind. He's got 31 million followers on Instagram. I mean, that's just pays for himself in share sales, as the old adage goes.
So many cliches.
Mo Salah, bearing in mind he's like this international sensation and all round nice guy. Apparently, he's not.
He builds hospitals, man. Come on.
Yeah, but he defends sexual harassment as well.
Yeah,
so he's not a very nice fella.
Yeah.
He's got 30 million. So Kylian Mbappe's got more followers than him. Do you know what I mean? He sells better. And he's younger.
He is dead young. What is he, 12?
12.
12. That is so young.
And a half.
Can't believe he's 11.
I just can't believe how nailed on it is. I started that as a joke, and now I'm fully on board the Mbappe wagon.
Right.
And also, I missed out the most important bit of evidence is the unrefutable screenshot from YouTube.
Fuck off with that
of him in a
screenshot.
Liverpool kit.
No, because ever since the Nabil Fekir video got leaked, everyone and their fucking dog, every time we're linked with someone, is going to make that video. They are. They might be really, really talented at Photoshop, but they're still fake. I'm sorry.
Hey, I'm telling you now, though, how good was that?
It was really good. It was a really good fake. It got me excited for like a good 2 minutes, and then I was like, wait a minute, why?
I still haven't spotted any flaws with it, to be honest. I still haven't worked out a single flaw in the video.
His face looks a bit too smooth. I'm not sure.
Maybe. I mean, one came out with Nicolas Pepe very shortly after as well. Yeah. But I mean, it looks too real to not be. So,
okay, it's real.
On that basis, it's real. He's signing. But we can't announce it yet because we haven't got the money.
How are we getting the money?
Next year.
Just by Salah?
Selling Salah.
Okay, fair enough.
It's happening.
So, if we're thinking that Kylian Mbappe is absolutely nailed and is going to be a replacement for Salah, that's a like-for-like replacement. We're still going to be short a versatile forward that we've both said we quite like, and a cover for left-back or right-back.
Which brings us on to our next area of conversation. Actual transfers.
Yay! Ones that have some semblance of reality.
Well, I mean... let's not say that. But what we can say is Bruno Fernandez does fancy a move to Liverpool, can't we?
Apparently, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Isn't he more like attacking midfielder?
He's more what you would expect from Fekir, I guess, from last season. I can't see it. I can't see Liverpool signing anybody of that that kind of position purely because Oxlade-Chamberlain's back. Exactly.
So I've seen a few people say that maybe we could do with like an attacking 8 or a 10, that kind of player. But like we've got Naby Keita going to be
a season better off.
Yeah, a season better off, fully fit and raring to go. Hopefully. If his international manager stops fucking playing him when he's unfit. We've got Oxlade-Chamberlain back after a year out. He's in the process of signing a 1-year contract extension, which I think is a really, really sound thing to do from the owners, just to offer him that year back that he missed. So he's going to be back and fully fit and raring.
Nothing to do with his value at all.
Oh, true, yeah. True. But I think midfield, we're absolutely fine. We've got Fabinho, Henderson, Keita. That's the first choice front three for me. Then we've got Wijnaldum, Milner, Oxlade-Chamberlain. That's 6. That's 2 for every position in that midfield. And then you've got Shaqiri floating about as well, and Adam Lallana, the walking sick note, who's apparently going to be fit.
If he, you know what though? You can't say this about Adam Lallana. If he's fit, he will be like a new sign.
Christ. Apparently he's having less time off this summer because he wants to come back and work on his fitness and make sure he's good for the start of the season. Which is sound.
Fair enough. I don't see him playing more than 15 games again this season.
No, of course not. But I don't think midfield is the area that we need to look at. So I think this link is a bit...
Yeah.
It might be tenuous. A dream move for him, but I think it's more tenuous on our side.
Yeah. I mean, I'm back on the legendary football whispers here.
Of course.
Just having a look at, because they rank transfers in terms of likelihood. The top whispers at the moment for Liverpool are... Let me just double...
If you say Mbappe, I'm throwing your laptop out the window.
No, unfortunately not. Ryan Sessegnon.
Okay.
Can't see that.
No.
Yourself?
No, not really.
I think he fits in at City really well.
I've heard that Spurs want him.
Yeah, but do you not think, in terms of the fact that Benjamin Mendy's a fraud and Zinchenko's not actually a left back, and
they could really do with one, yeah.
And they need English lads as well.
Why aren't they in for like Tierney? Arsenal are apparently, but surely he'd fit well at City as well.
I mean, you would think that, yeah. But I think if they sign anyone who's not English this year, I'll be amazed, Man City. Purely because...
Aren't they signing some midfielder for 60 million? Or some winger? I don't know.
Off the top of my head, I can't remember. But well, that's what I mean.
It just wouldn't surprise me if they do.
Yeah, but they need it. Because they've just lost another foreign player in Vinny Kompany. And they need a minimum number of... I can't remember how many homegrown players you need. But basically, City were under by 4... So it meant that they had to leave spaces in their squad instead.
Okay, yeah.
With Fabian Delph going as well, that might mean that they need somebody else to come in. I think Ryan Sessegnon would have been making perfect sense for them, but I'll be really surprised if they haven't at least looked at him, because that's why they're meant to be looking at Harry Maguire apparently.
Oh yeah. I was confused by that link.
Yeah.
I didn't actually click on any of them and read them, but
yeah. So Bruno Fernandez we've already covered.
Yeah.
Adrien Rabiot, any interest?
I hope not.
No, I hope not as well.
It's mainly for his entourage, and
Yeah.
his mum just
His
causes all sorts of fucking trouble.
Yeah. Lorenzo Insigne, come out of nowhere, I guess.
Yeah.
I wouldn't really read too much into that. Nicolas Pepe.
Yeah, that's the one that's come out and got a lot of people excited, hasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, the only person who scored more goals than him in League One last season was Kylian Mbappe.
Yeah.
So, reasons to be excited. Not that that's the highest standard of football, but at the same time, you know, he's showing that he's a cut above everybody else in a
goals
team
is goals.
that's not very good.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I wouldn't be adverse to Pepe coming in. At the end of the day, what this is all going to boil down to is whatever Liverpool do this summer, I think they've earned a bit of leeway, even if it doesn't make full sense to us at the time.
Well, the ongoing narrative is like that Klopp's happy with this squad and he believes that it can grow together. They've not peaked, and I believe that too. It's just to not sign a Nicolas Pepe. I think the least we need to do is to sign someone like Nicolas Pepe, someone who can slot in with the front three and rotate a bit, because I still think there is too much of a drop off when one of those gets injured.
I'd be trying Wolves for Diogo Jota.
I do like Jota.
I'd be trying for someone like that.
Yeah.
I mean,
winger come forward, isn't he?
Yeah, exactly, and I think it makes sense. I would have been trying for Raul Jimenez if Wolves hadn't just confirmed him as well, because I think he makes just as much sense. He fits in with Firmino, where Firmino fits in, with Bobby's flexibility, you could always drop him off, and then would have made sense. But I think Diogo Jota would have made a lot of sense for Liverpool this summer, in terms of his work rate and the fact that he can play right across the front as well. Premier League experience, played very well last year. I mean, pulled that out of thin air, to be honest, but would have made sense. I mean, we all tried to link ourselves with Timo Werner.
That is true. I still want him.
I still wouldn't mind him. Still young. The last name on this list is an old favourite of everybody's. It is Marco Reus.
Oh, yay. How old is he now?
I think he's
29?
41. No, I think he's 28, 29, something like that. But
should we all just get on John Henry's Twitter and just go,
Sam Royce?
Royce?
I mean, I can't imagine after selling Christian Pulisic that they're just going to do that. Do you know what I mean? He is 30. He is 30 now, Marco Reus. Fucking hell.
Remember when he was young?
Yeah, I remember when he was the next best big thing, and yeah.
He's still boss.
He is still very good at football. Injuries are going to hurt him in a couple of years, though.
Oh, 100%.
The effect of not playing football
he'll
for
be
a
on the
long
wane
time.
soon.
Yeah.
If he's not already, to be honest.
He is, to be fair.
Yeah.
And who they brought in? There's some Thorgan Hazard's come in to replace Christian Pulisic, who didn't even play that much last year, so I would expect maybe Royce to... He got dropped in towards the middle anyway last season because Jadon Sancho was there, but regardless of how good he is, he's not playing for Liverpool any time soon. That's all for recent links, apparently. Obviously, De Ligt was linked, and linked by us.
And so was Mbappe.
I mean, we were all pretty convinced we'd be in for a goalkeeper this year, but apparently the rumours are now that Simon Mignolet will not be leaving the club.
Yeah, apparently he'll be sticking around because Klopp's impressed by his attitude. And to be fair, like, there has not been a bigger cheerleader on the side for the team than Mignolet. There's not been a peep out of him for, a year and a half?
Well, you say that. I was about to say, last November-ish, he was saying, I don't understand how it makes sense for you to loan out your previous number one and carry us, give him a loan move, and then not let me go out on loan.
Yeah.
He had that conversation, that was a big thing, and it was him kicking up a massive fuss And then after that, he kind of... You remember Klopp had to come out and say, I wish Simon would come to me with these issues rather than coming to the press. And then after that, he's been a model professional. Yeah, fine. So he must have took that not criticism, but that advice from Jurgen Klopp to, like, not go straight to the media. And he must have took that on board very well, because he could quite easily have been fucked off in January after that.
Yeah.
So he must have been a model professional from that point onwards, and all you've heard since is how good he's been and how accepting he's been of Alisson being a much better goalkeeper than he is, and that's fair enough. I mean, Alisson's the best goalkeeper I've ever seen play for Liverpool. So if he wants to stay around for another year, then that's fine. I think he's earned that, but I think
I hate it.
I would,
I hate it.
No, that's
I hate it because it means there's a chance I see him play for Liverpool one more time.
I understand that.
I don't care if it's the League Cup or the FA Cup competitions. I do not care about at all. I just don't want to see him again. There's the memories of him.
Yeah, Arsenal away was a big one. Saw someone say the other day, because it came up saying on this day in 2013, Liverpool signed Simon Mignolet. Yeah, and then it showed his pen save against Stoke on his debut. And then
that was the best. That was the best it ever got.
Yeah. Someone in the comments of it though said, people forget how good Mignolet was that season.
I knew this revisionism was going to come in. The longer he stuck around and just being nice on the sideline, I was like, actually, maybe Mignolet wasn't that bad. No, he fucking was. Mignolet was terrible.
Steven Gerrard's, in his book, blames Simon Mignolet for a lot of the goals we conceded that season. Honest to God, it's ridiculous. Like, his latest book, I think it's called My Story, I read up to the slip and then stopped reading it. Yeah. He just has a go at Mignolet all the way through. He's just like just kept making mistakes all season. What I mean is though, I think he's deserved the right to do what he wants from this point on, because he's got behind Alisson and he's been a good
definitely
good foil, I guess, hasn't it?
Doesn't mean I like it anymore.
No, I completely agree. What does surprise me about that though is like that is the murmur that Liverpool are happy for him to do what he wants, well, for to be around because of his attitude. But if he wants to leave, kind of thing, then Liverpool expect him to honour his contract. But like, if you remember last year, Ragnar Klavan had the opposite kind of thing, where it was like, we're really impressed by Klavan's attitude, so we're gonna let him do what he wants. Do you know what I mean? And like if he wants to leave, he can go. Whereas Mignolet, it seems to be like, he's got a contract here. We're expecting him to honour it. So if he has to stick around for another year, when we could have probably used Klavan at once last season.
Yeah, definitely.
Even just January, we could have used Raggy Klavan for a little bit. We might well have progressed in the FA Cup had we not had to bring a 16-year-old on with a centre midfielder. Yeah, a centre half. Do you know what I mean? It's just interesting how like there might be a change of attitude, or maybe they just didn't value Ragnar Klavan very highly.
Maybe it was that. Like, Klavan was always brought in to be the elder statesman, the fourth choice centre half. The fact that Mignolet was our number one, maybe there's a little bit more respect attached to that, and they want him to see out his contract because like they know that they've got a starting quality goalkeeper. Yeah, maybe he's not starting quality for Liverpool, but he would be fine for a mid-table Premier League team. Everton, maybe.
Fucking hell. Yeah.
There's nowhere else with a fucking dumbass they've got in net.
No, that's very true. So looking at other people who might end up leaving Liverpool two people who will definitely end up leaving Liverpool this summer, Alberto Moreno and Daniel Sturridge, both left.
Tomorrow, July 1st?
Yes, it is, so Alberto Moreno apparently linked with Villarreal, Daniel Sturridge linked with New York, apparently. Which would make complete sense. Never seen a player more destined to play in the MLS than Daniel Sturridge in my life.
That's true, actually. This cannot run anymore, but by God, can he hit a ball?
This transfer rumours page is just saying that Daniel Sturridge's market value is 40 million quid. It's like, not for a long time has he been worth 40 million quid. The one that surprised a lot of people is Divock Origi.
Well, getting a new contract?
No. Being linked with a move to Real Betis.
Really?
10 million.
I have not seen that.
£10 million. Apparently, Betis want a bid for him. Liverpool obviously are looking to offer him a contract, but it's just been it's been speculated about. Obviously, Divock didn't get a lot of first team football last year. When he did, he made it count.
He did,
to say the very least. So, I mean, do you think it's something that Origi could be open to leaving Liverpool this summer?
Maybe. It's not beyond the realms of possibility, but I just don't see it. Like he's deified here. He's an absolute cult hero and a legend here now. Yeah. Why would he give that up?
I can't.
He's got every opportunity to push on now. Like after the second half of last season, showing that he can step up and do it on the biggest stage. He can be that first deputy to the front three. I don't see why he'd want to give that up to go to start for Real Betis.
Yeah, because I think he is definitely the first deputy, as you've said there. Because I mean, no matter who drops out, you see Origi basically. He will either play left wing or striker.
Yeah, it started out as Sturridge in the first half of the season. Over Christmas, it became Shaqiri, and then in the second half of the season, it became Origi every single time.
And no one took it better than Origi did. To be fair, I mean, all right. Shaqiri scores twice against Man United from the bench.
Yeah, that was
fine. That was a great day. Still not beating what Origi did against Newcastle, Barcelona, and of course Tottenham as well. Cheers, Riley, for helping me forget about the Champions League final there. So I'll be surprised. I think basically, assuming Liverpool do not sign anybody from this point on, which will be a massive disappointment. I mean, I'll understand, and as I said before, Liverpool have kind of earned a bit of leeway in terms of transfers, like what they do. At the end of the day, they've earned that trust because we were wrong to say about how they should sign somebody if they can't get Van Dijk, sign anyone.
Centre back,
yeah, we were wrong to say that. We were wrong about I was wrong about Alisson because he's the best goalkeeper ever. I think they've earned a little bit of trust, but I do think that there's a point where not strengthening this summer would be negligence of Liverpool.
Yeah,
I think not strengthening properly was the reason after 2005 was the reason we didn't properly kick on. Like we won the FA Cup that season, the next season, fine, but you know what did we do? We signed Reina, Peter Crouch, Bolo Zenden, Momo Sissoko. It's not exactly the window of your dreams, is it? Do you know what I mean? Whereas Liverpool this year, you know, in profit as far as the finances go, never been more highly regarded as long as I remember, really. And I feel like Liverpool really need to do something. If we don't, though, I do see us going into it with Origi as the main backup, and then Ryan Brewster getting a lot more minutes this season.
Yeah, there's that we all forget as well. Like there is youth that Klopp wants to bring through. There's Brewster, there's Wilson's come back, Camacho's just been and got sold. But we do we've got Curtis Jones, we've got Hover. Like there's all this youth that is on the sidelines, and that's why he's got Pep Yinders as his assistant manager now for that bridge between the youth. Like he's moving Melwood to Kirby to be more in sync with the youth team and bring more of those through. So maybe last summer was the summer of the big blockbuster signings, and then this summer onwards is more trying to supplement the team that we've built over the last 3 years, like the really, really good team that we've built, with some of the homegrown talent that we can just add in and dip in every now and again.
I mean, going back to the Mignolet thing, maybe that's another reason that they're not in a rush to replace Mignolet this year, because if you give him another year away, then maybe you're looking at Camille Grabara and Kevin Kelleher.
Yes, exactly.
Maybe they're ready then to take a step up and be back up to Alisson instead, because they do rate both of those quite highly.
Yeah. It is a risk. Like this way of doing it, if this is what they're doing, it is a risk, because a lot of people say that when you're on top, that's the best time to strike and go out and buy. Just make it statements. Yeah, exactly. Like Alex Ferguson used to do it. Like he used to win league in, league out, but he would always But he would always spend while he was on top.
I mean, it's interesting you should say that, because I think if you look at his track record, Alex Ferguson never spent stupid amounts.
No, not stupid amounts, but he would bring in relatively big signings while he was on top.
Yeah, to a point, but if you look at United's biggest players underneath Ferguson, I mean, there's an argument he developed all of them with, maybe not Cantona, but there's an argument that they were unknown until Ferguson gave them the chance. Obviously, class of '92 was all Ferguson giving them the opportunity, and then you're looking at Ruud van Nistelrooy, who'd heard of him before he moved to United. Cristiano Ronaldo, Wayne Rooney was 18 when they signed him, and obviously £30 million. It's a big, massive transfer, but it's still he still developed into the player he became because he moved. It wasn't so much what United try and do now, which is try and sign established stars for stupid amounts of money.
Yeah.
And I think if Liverpool were to do something, I think from this position right now, what Liverpool should be looking to do is that idea of bringing through young players from other teams, and that might well be what we're looking to do. You bring in now, say, a 20-year-old. I think who can be back up to the attacker. Sorry, I think the problem with that mentality would be that a 20-year-old now costs you 40 million quid. Anyone with promise at all. Callum Hudson-Odoi, for example, would cost you 40 million quid, and he's barely kicked a ball in anger for Chelsea.
Yeah.
Maybe Ryan Brewster's that kind of player who, he's 20 years old, he now gets an opportunity. Who knows? But I do think Liverpool need to build from this point on. I do think Liverpool should be using this summer as a massive turning point for the club. Now, I'm not saying at all that if we go into the season with the same squad, I'm not saying at all Liverpool won't be able to challenge for things. The exact opposite. I expect Liverpool to challenge for every single trophy next season, and there are 7 up for grabs for Liverpool next season. But I just think that we'll get to say. I think we get to the same point we get to the last season, so January, and you start looking at it and you're like, we're a bit threadbare here. Especially now that we have to go to Japan for... not Japan, Qatar, sorry. It was Japan last time we went for the World Cup Championships in December. Do you know what I mean? So, obviously, there's a week off in there, which Liverpool will no doubt go to Marbella for again.
I want to go.
I know.
It take us.
But I just think it'll upset me a little bit, to be honest, if we don't do something this transfer window.
Yeah, it would.
Just purely because I think we've all kind of just been like, we can compete with anyone now, we can get anybody we want, and I think we've kind of made that up in our heads if we don't actually go and do it. Obviously, Vandenberg comes in for a fee next to nothing, and apparently we've beaten Bayern Munich to his transfer. Brilliant, but there's not. That's.
It's not as sexy as other signings, is it?
Exactly, it's not a sexy signing, is it? It might well turn out to be. It might well turn out to be in a year. Can you believe we got this kid for £2 million quid, rising to £4 million? Can you believe it? But at the moment, you're just like, you want something that just makes everybody sit up and go, we're the fucking best here, and everyone wants to play for us.
Yeah. See, I think there might be something like that, but it's not in terms of signing. It's in terms of keeping the players that we already have. So, like, every single time that we've won something or got really, really, really close, we've lost some of our best players. And, like, it's been well documented. Suarez after 13-14, Alonso and Mascherano after 08-09. I think the marker for Liverpool doing things different now is we're not going to sell anyone this season. Not even too long ago, a year and a half ago, we sold Coutinho, and that was that's the last time that we sold someone that we didn't particularly want to sell, that could have weakened us by selling them. But since then, it's kind of been a different Liverpool. The players that we've got want to stay. The players that we signed really want Liverpool rather than to use it as a stepping stone to Barcelona.
Yeah.
Like, Salah's not talking about any other teams like Coutinho used to, like Hazard's done at Chelsea for the last 5 fucking years. Mane, Firmino, nothing like that. There's not a peep out of any of them. I think that might be the marker of Liverpool doing things a little bit differently. And while this summer there might not be any big signings, we have already seen like contract extensions and contract renegotiations and all these players tying down really, really long-term contracts, 2022, 3, 4, stuff like that. I think it's going to be more that this season. It's going to be more consolidating our place and just fine-tuning little things. So that versatile forward and that left back, and obviously the centre half that's coming. They're the little fine-tunes that we need. And I think we can push on and, like you said, challenge for everything.
Yeah, and I think this is it's all circumstantial, isn't it, at the end of the day? Because if we revisit this topic in 6 months' time and Liverpool are top of the Premier League through to it's the 30th of June today, so we're talking New Year. So if we revisit this on New Year's Day and we're looking at Liverpool top of the league through to the group stages of the Champions League, have won the World Club Championship, have smashed through the League Cup and are preparing to start their FA Cup campaign, then alright. the club seem to have got it right. I've missed off the Community Shield and the Super League, which the Super Cup obviously won. I mean, maybe everything's easier with hindsight, isn't it? And we could quite easily be saying, looking back at this and laughing about it, but I think it all depends on how certain players react. It all depends on how, for example, Ryan Brewster takes his opportunity next season. It all depends if it is going to be Adam Lewis who's going to be our left back next season, which our backup left back, to Andy Robertson. It all depends how he takes the opportunity. I don't think it will be. I think it'll be James Milner or Joe Gomez as well. But it all depends on what happens if Liverpool stay injury free as well. All these different things that have to fall into place. We'll see. I mean, it's exciting again. To be honest, it's 6 weeks. 6 weeks on the Friday just gone until the Premier League kicks off again. So bring it on.
Got Community Shield before that.
We've got the Community Shield before that. Yeah, sorry. So
first trophy winner of the season.
Be looking forward to it. So that's it for transfers, really. The only other thing we really want to talk about is the Auto Cup scheme. This isn't going to be a very this is going to be a big cathartic rant for me and you, I think, more than anything else. But basically, for anybody who's not on the who's not got the inclination to try and go through Liverpool's ticketing system every year,
or who's just not aware.
Or just maybe people who aren't aware, as much as anything, because it wasn't really well advertised, to be honest. Basically, every year, Liverpool have, for their season ticket holders and then their members, it's very important that bit, they offer what's called the Auto Cup scheme, which is basically you select a seat that you're going to sit in for the European campaign, whether it be a Champions League or Europa League, League Cup and FA Cup games. So every home game you will have that seat allocation. The money comes straight out to your bank account before the tickets go on sale, and it's just an easy way of making sure you've got all the tickets for a certain competition. It's how we ended up with all 6 games last season. In the
and it means
League.
you can be with your mates, which is sound.
And that's probably the important thing as well, to be fair, is that you can select an area where there's going to be a fair number of you all sat together, which is nice when it's normally limited to 4 people. When there's 8 of us who go together, I think in total, there's 8 memberships anyway. And
it led to the photo of all of us together after we beat Barcelona 4-0.
Exactly.
Which was a lovely memory and is going on my wall.
So what happened last year is Liverpool put it up that if you attended all 6 home games in the Champions League from the 17-18 season, then you were guaranteed a place on the Auto Cup scheme for Europe this year. The season just gone. So that was fine. This year, Liverpool have used the same criteria but now more people qualify for it, and more season ticket holders have taken up their automatic right, apparently, to get hold of it, even if they haven't got any credits.
Yeah, exactly, and that's the kicker, isn't it? It's for season ticket holders who haven't taken up this opportunity to get on the Auto Cup scheme and build European credits and priority back when we were crap, but now that we've won it, they all of a sudden want to get on the bandwagon, and it might only be 400 to 600.
It's 400 apparently.
400 extra season ticket holders, but that's 400 members who recorded 6 games last season who can't go now because these season ticket holders having it. And like for those who don't know, getting a season ticket for Liverpool is dead man's shoes. The waiting list is frozen. You can't even get on a waiting list anymore.
Yep.
You've got to be related to someone who has a season ticket and wait for them to die.
Basically,
that is the only way. And it sounds like it's just us members being bitter at the fact that these season ticket holders have these season tickets, but it's the fact that we're not treated as fairly. We essentially are season ticket holders in all but name. We participate in the 2 sales every year, one in July and one in November, and buy home tickets to every single game. We've done that for the last 3 years now. We've gone to every League Cup game, every FA Cup game. Obviously, in the last 3 years, there's not been many to go to.
Yep.
The Auto Cup scheme for the FA Cup and League Cup last season was absolutely pointless.
The League Cup was just Chelsea, wasn't
exactly,
it? Yeah.
But
even then,
we've been there and we've built those credits and we've gone to those games. We went to all of the European games when we were in the Europa League. My first game was a Europa League game when we lost against
Zenit
St. Petersburg. Yes, Suarez scored a great free kick, but we didn't win by enough goals. And it's just incredibly frustrating that there are so many members out there who are now not guaranteed these tickets to go to the Champions League games with their mates this season, when last season they were. And it's all come out that, nothing's changed from last season, you all don't need to worry. Like, that's not a reason to not worry that it's that nothing's changed from last season. That's just telling me that this system's always been crap.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest issue with it is that it's only taken on a year by year basis. So, for example, if you've been going, I mean, I've been going since I was 18, so I've been going 8 years now, since I've been earning money, basically. So I've built up all my priority under the same members card since then. I've been to every European home game since then as well. Even, back to the Rodgers days when we were playing absolute shite in the Europa League, as Matt's just mentioned. And then now I might lose my priority because Liverpool Football Club have decided that it doesn't matter beyond 2018.
Yeah.
So the furthest back they're going to go basically is PSG at home last year, the game that kicked off the Champions League run. And there's no accounting for any of the games last season where we went. There's no accounting for any of the Europa League games when in Klopp's first season.
Yep, when we got to the final there.
Absolutely no accounting for that. And yet a season ticket holder who has somehow managed to get hold of a season ticket with absolutely no credits on for European football or next season now select any seat they want in the ground for any European game, and that's their seat for the rest of the season. And it's such a slap in the face to everybody who's been going and everybody who's tried to build up the atmosphere and like help out all the young lads who've been building up. Whilst, let's be honest, recently it's been a good time to start going, because it's been Liverpool haven't been great in the last 10 years. Exactly, Liverpool haven't been great in the last 10 years. So probably
2011 to 2015. hard in Europe. That was a hard slog.
Well, exactly, and it's probably the best time to have started trying to build up priority. It's the ideal time because nobody else wanted to go. But it doesn't mean that we should be disregarded, because at the end of the day, we were there for the times where there wasn't much to celebrate. We were there for the times when Blackpool turned up and did the double over Liverpool. Obviously, that's a league thing instead, but we were there for, as Matt said, Zenit St. Petersburg. We were there to watch Real Madrid turn off and twat us 3-0.
And get applauded off the pitch.
Applauded off the pitch. We were there to watch Liverpool struggle against Bâle in that game, and Ludogorets as well that season. Liverpool weren't great, have not been great in Europe for a long time, and now we are again, and it feels like it doesn't matter to the club as long as somebody's in the seat.
Yeah, and
that hurts.
People can jump the queue.
Exactly, people can jump the queue, and people with season tickets. I would not give a flying fuck about. That's a lie. I would care less about the season ticket issue of no credits if anybody could get hold of a season ticket. If season tickets were easy to come by, I would kind of understand. It pissed me off still, because obviously that would mean you could buy a season ticket now and then with no credits, of European credits. That still sit wrong with me. But the fact is that season tickets are so hard to come by, as you said before. You basically have to be left one in a will these days to get hold of a season ticket. Season tickets aren't something that you just stumble across, and at Liverpool anyway. And the fact that we're basically being punished for not being lucky enough to have been given a season ticket at this point in time, like it does sting. It does. And when you start adding up all the prices that we pay across the season, and you add up membership fees and stuff like that, we pay as much as a season ticket holder does at the end of the day, and it more so in some cases, I think, depending on where you sit. And yeah, it just hurts. It does hurt. Spirit of Shankly had a feeble goer sorting out. I mean, it's not their fault at the end of the day. They've had a word. Liverpool haven't sorted anything. The fellow with the most misleading job title in the world, the fan liaison.
It's not his job.
It's not his job to talk to fans about anything. He's not his job to respond about ticket queries, which is the most direct interaction between fans and footballers, really, when you think about it. Yeah, it's not his job to deal with anything like that, and he'll just keep telling you that. The chief executive's far too busy to deal with anything as well. On Twitter, unless everybody has a go at him. So it's just every now and then Liverpool do really good things with the fan base. Whether that be helping out with the food banks and stuff like that, important things. And then every now and then there's just a slap in the face and a step back where you remember that these people are basically working it out as they go along, and we're the ones who suffer whenever they make a mistake.
Yeah,
it feels like. And yeah, I mean, there's an argument for the season ticket holders are all like, a lot of people who don't quite understand it are like, I've had my season ticket for 40 years. Why do you get more? Why should you get the same kind of priority as I do? I'm not asking for that. I'm asking for fairness, and the fact that if for anyone who's had a season ticket for 40 years, you've probably been going to European games as well. I'm asking for fairness in that anybody who's not been to the European games can't now just turn around and go, yeah, do you know what, I fancy Europe next season, now Liverpool are European champions, because it's going to be different next season.
Yeah. Liverpool, that's all we want.
Yeah, at the end of the day, that's it. It's just give us a chance to actually go and support a team that we've spent thousands of pounds doing in the past. You know what I mean? People nearly bankrupted themselves last year trying to get to Kiev and then trying to get to Madrid the year after. And there will be at least one person who was in Kiev, who was in Madrid, and now will not have any games on their card.
Yep.
because of this. And the club have stressed as well that the Auto Cup scheme isn't the only opportunity to get on the European credits. So you can buy them in the sales before a game. There will be an opportunity for it. And what they're basically saying is they will still be priority sales, but you just can't have an Auto Cup scheme. But what it does mean is there's at least 6 more sales that you have to go through every year. And for anybody who's ever tried to do a sale, all a Liverpool sale is, you'll know that all a Liverpool sale is waiting in an online queue until everybody who's chancing their arm in case they've got enough credits, but they haven't actually got enough credits. Everybody who's doing that, when they've dropped out of the queue, then you get whatever's left over. And yeah, I mean, it's gonna. If it comes to that, it will be shit. And at the end of the day, there'll be a lot of people, myself included, who, if I miss out on the Auto Cup scheme, will start questioning whether or not I actually want to carry on going, because I feel I keep having to jump through more and more.
Yeah. It's a lot of effort, and then
Liverpool.
You don't get to sit with your mates.
Yeah.
Like, that's the best thing about Europe. Like, being around everyone.
I mean, you lost yours in 2016, wasn't it?
Yeah, there was a card payment failure.
Yeah.
So I got booted out of the Auto Cup, and I had to participate in all the general sales again. Managed to get all the tickets required.
But not with us.
But not with you. No. I could get back on the Auto Cup the season after, because I'd managed to get through those sales and got the credits required for the Auto Cup. But my God, it was fucking hard. It was hard work.
And another thing as well, just as a final point, really, is that Liverpool only using criteria from 17-18 as. From 18-19, it's getting really confusing all these years, but they're only using criteria from 18-19 for 19-20 qualification.
Yeah.
FA Cup is using 17-18, so it's using the year before. It's using the FA Cup priority from Everton and the West Brom games, and even then we're not guaranteed. But they're going back. That's 2 seasons ago now. So why are they going back 2 seasons in the FA Cup, and yet in the Champions League it's only last season? It's baffling at the end of the day.
It's because we don't have any FA Cup home games.
No, I know, but they've set a precedent with that, and that they can look.
They absolutely can.
Why is it not?
They should really, but
why is it not anyone who's got 12 home games from the last 2 Champions League seasons?
Yep.
Liverpool's played every game possible in Europe in the last 2 seasons. Yeah, that's an actual thing. Do you know what I mean? Ignoring qualification, we've played every game possible.
Yep.
And no, that's been thrown away. Now it only matters for this season just gone. And that's not right.
It is annoying. It is really,
and
really
even
annoying.
then, it doesn't even matter for season ticket holders who weren't there for either of those 2 years. Because they can just click a button and then they're through. But yeah, I mean that's grievances aired. So there you go.
I feel a bit better.
Well, I mean a little bit. Yeah. I mean what we've basically covered is Liverpool could end up not signing anybody, and me and Matt might not end up with tickets for next season, or we might end up with all the tickets and we're signing Kylian Mbappe.
Yeah.
This could go either way.
Quite a wide margin.
Yeah, could go either way this window. I'm not even being funny. If Liverpool sign Kylian Mbappe, I'll forgive you. I'll forgive you for me getting fucked off for the European games.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm not even asked then. I pay enough money to pay his fucking wages anyway to go. So so that's been this week's episode. Obviously, it'll probably be a little more sparse over the summer because there's very little to talk about, and if Liverpool aren't going to sign anyone, then we're going to have to think of things to talk about. So if there are 2 weekly episodes instead of weekly, then do forgive us, all 4 of you.
Join us next week for our Spider-Man Far From Home review.
I know, yeah. Genuinely, at some point this summer, I do want to talk about something that's not Liverpool.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, we might even look at the Women's World Cup coverage, to be fair, because I've watched pretty much every game of the World Cup so far. I don't think you have, but
I've actually watched a couple.
Yeah.
Not many, though.
Yeah, I mean, it has been a good watch. It has been a really good watch, to be fair. And there's been a lot of talking points. We're not doing VAR again. We did it all last summer.
We did. That's all you need to know.
Yeah, so if you want to know what me and Matt think about VAR, look at the World Cup coverage from last year. Yeah, so that's been this week's. Thank you very much for listening. If you could share this, if you could follow us on all the usual social media platforms, we're there on as the story of a poor boy on Twitter, Facebook, Spotify, YouTube, iTunes, Podcast Addict, Podbean, WordPress, all of those, and probably more that I've forgot as well. Thanks very much.
All bad bookstores and some good.
If they've got us on it, they're probably bad, let's be honest. Thank you very much for listening. See you probably next week.
See you guys.